Good morning, everybody. That engine is ready to go into its new home, so we need to make a hole. Now, I'm unsure on how to do this. I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to drop it out of the bottom. I don't want to do that because then you have to drop the whole subframe and everything else, and I've never done that, and it intimidates me. I've done some YouTube searching, and how do I put this nicely? There has been some people that have attempted to do this and been successful, even though they shouldn't be working on cars, and they definitely shouldn't be making videos working on cars. So I think with my education and my background, I'll be able to figure it out. Now, the plan is to leave the transmission in the car and pull all the accessories and stuff off the motor and slide it away from the transmission and then out. Now, the gap looks exactly the same size as the engine, so it could get interesting. But this is the route that I am taking because this is the route that I feel comfortable is going to be successful. So I'm going to set you guys up and I'm going to get to work. I got a Sharpie and a roll of masking tape to start masking where stuff goes. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just going to get to work and start slowly but surely taking this thing apart. Laying parts on the ground and labeling stuff as I go along, so hopefully I can put this thing back together in the best way possible. Alright, y'all. Have fun. Alright, I just want to take mental note to this, that I didn't do this, but this is disconnected and it's broken right there. So I will have to figure that out when it goes back together. But taking note of it now that it is not my fault. lunch while this drains, but here's the progress on this thing. Getting tore down. And over here, this thing's starting to look more complete. Double progress. Alright guys, I'll catch up with you after lunch. Alright, y'all, I think that's where I'm going to end it off for day one. So this is a gap that we're going to push it this way into. So I still need to get the AC disconnected and the main pulley off and the oil pump. But other than that, this side's done. And then need to get the exhaust off of both sides. And then disconnect the transmission and the torque converter. And we should be ready to pull it. All of this wiring is out, but you can see there's a pile of masking tape in it. So it won't be too bad to put back together. And then this motor over here, slowly but surely, is being fully assembled. So we'll just have to drop it in and connect a whole bunch of stuff and we'll be done with it. So I gotta go out and replace O2 sensors in that truck, and then I gotta clean house for the rest of the day with the wife because we're behind on our stuff. But I will catch up with you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we will be able to get this thing out. I like to take lots of breaks so that I remain fresh and don't get frustrated. That AC is going to be a little frustrating, the exhaust is going to be frustrating. The rest of the stuff is pretty much just stuff that irritates you because it takes a minute and it's finagly. So I'm going to come out here tomorrow when I'm fresh, bright, and early and bushy-tailed and work on it then. And I'll catch up with you guys then. So have a good night and God bless. Good morning, y'all. Day 2 of teardown. I'm going to try and get pretty much most of the way ready to pull this thing out tomorrow. You got the AC down here that needs to come out, and the crank pulley, and the exhaust, and motor mounts either side, and torque converter. But I was thinking, how am I going to get this crank pulley out? And this motor's trash, so I don't have to worry about hurting it. So I sat there and I thought about, what are my possibilities? Growing up around hot rods and stuff, there was a way that you could do valve springs in small block Chevys and stuff without pulling the heads. And the way to do that was to pull your camshaft and all your lifters and stuff so that the valves are closed, and then you fill the cylinder full of rope or whatever you want to use. I prefer rope. And the cylinder, you bring the piston up in the cylinder and it shoves the rope against those valves. And it keeps those valves from coming down so that you can do the valve springs on top of them. Now I'm going to take that same methodology and I'm going to fill one of these cylinders with rope, and then I'm going to put the spark plug back in, and I'm going to rotate it to the left, and when this piston locks that rope up against the top of the cylinder and doesn't give it the ability to continue its stroke and go back down, I will be able to get this bolt off. If it hurts the cylinder head or if it hurts the motor, it doesn't matter because we're replacing it anyway. So, I'm going to get to work, set you guys up, and I'll talk to you after a while. Got the exhaust disconnected and the manifold off this side and the AC moved over. I've got the exhaust disconnected from that side. Got the valve covers off. I've got 3 bolts to get an axle locating supporting tab over there off. And then I got to disconnect the torque converter. And I think that's it. And then we need to set it back on the ground, roll it out, clean up the floor, and then bring it back in, stick it on the chain, and start pulling motor mounts. Because this one is going to get unbolted from the engine, and that one's going to get unbolted from the engine, that one's going to get unbolted from the engine, and then we'll disconnect the transmission. The transmission sitting on a jack probably, and then scoot this over. I did not successfully get the cylinder to stop, as you probably saw, but that's okay because I think we will still have enough room to get it off the dowels, because I went over and measured the dowels on the new engine. But I'm gonna go inside and warm up because I'm cold. I don't know what temperature it is outside, but it's not friendly right now, so I will be back out here after a little bit.
I wanna make you mine. I'm just spending all my thoughts on you like I need you now. I'm just trying to get to you like I wanna make you mine. Yeah, I'm just spending all my thoughts on you like I need you now. Mary Jane, please love me. Mary Jane, please hurt me. Mary Jane, please hate me. Mary Jane, please love me. I'm just trying to get to you like I wanna make you mine. Yeah. I'm just spending all my thoughts on you like I need you now. Darkness can't stop on the way. 내 눈 속에 날 보면 Girl, you make all my heart melt away. Baby, be my Mary Jane. Oh, my Mary Jane.
Alright, y'all. She's still bleeding on my ground. I'm just gonna let her fucking bleed out. Let it drain for a while. I gotta go get more cat litter anyway. Front motor mount is off and ready to come out. Back motor mount is off and ready to come out. The only thing left is these two bolts and the transmission bolts. The torque converter is unbolted. Literally everything is ready to go. I gotta clean up the garage and send the client the parts list that I need for everything. And next time you guys see this, which will just be in a minute for you, it'll be a little while for me. She will be back in this spot, ready to yank that motor out, push it back, set the motor on the ground, drag it out of the way, and come back over here with the new motor and push the van in. Yeah, whole progress thing. I'll see you guys. All right. Good morning, y'all. Day 3. So, just a side note here. Crank bolts are a lot easier to break loose when you have somebody to help you, or you have a crank holder tool, depending on what engine you're working on. If you don't, you get to end up smacking yourself in the face with a breaker bar if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. But that's okay. We got the van in here, and ground cleaned up a little bit, and we got the motor plate on it, and we got the crank out of it, so we have tons and tons and tons of room now, which is awesome. So I'm gonna set you guys up. We have 8 transmission bolts, it looks like, and then this thing is ready to come out of here as soon as we pull that one bolt right there. Alright, see how this goes. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is possible to get a J35 out of a Honda Odyssey from the top. And this is what it looks like when you do so. So now I need to get a couple more things off of this exhaust manifold, one of these exhaust studs, and anything else that comes up that I may need, and then go ahead and start working on getting that motor in, and that'll be the next episode for y'all. So I'm gonna leave y'all here and wish you a great night, and God bless. Get out there and wrench on something. Doesn't matter what it is, where it is, how it is, don't matter. As long as you're doing something. Alright, love you guys. God bless. Bye.